Hey guys, Ripper back here in Blue World, and I've been very busy, guys. Very busy. I've been attempting a very big project, probably the biggest I've ever even really attempted in Minecraft, I'd say. So, yeah, and it's an idea that was generated through watching DocM's videos and his villager rollercoaster system, and I looked at it, and it's a lot of work. It's you have to turn it on, turn it off, etc. And so that put the idea in my head of creating an automated process for that. And to be honest, it got a little bit out of hand. Yeah, guys. This is my automated sort of mob rollercoaster system, primarily designed for villagers. And yeah, this turned out to be a lot more complex than I originally thought because, first of all, I wanted to sort of multiply the number of mob detectors so I could fit more on at a time. And then I had to do the roller coaster and then the kill chambers and then all this stuff, and it ended up being very complicated. But I'll try to explain it to you as best I can, and yeah, let's get started. Now we'll start off here with the multi-mob detector, I guess you could call it. And this is a pretty basic idea in essence, and you can see my remnants of it over there from a couple of tries. A couple of failed attempts, mind you, because villagers love to fight water streams and love to run off and do their own thing. But I think I've got it here, guys, so we'll just jump inside. And you can see I've got a diagonal water stream pushing them to these chambers here. And there's 4 of them all along the way, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll just break out of here. And I'll show you the failsafe put into it. So if we were to put a villager in here, he's going to go in the first chamber here. He's going to fall in, and I'll knock the track out here so it doesn't go off. And he fell into there, and you can see he's in the minecart. So yeah, so I'll probably do that again, but what essentially happened is this is a basic player detector. So this minecart just can't make it up this slope, but when a mob or a player enters it, it gains a little more inertia and is able to push just past this slope. So that's why it's a mob detector. And you can see this pressure plate down here, and if we go up to here, you can see the trapdoor's closed, as opposed to this one which open. This one's closed. And also, when that happens, a piston extends over this hole, and it prevents the villager jumping, basically. So he's more likely to get caught in the water stream and get pushed into the minecart. So that's pretty much all this part really has in it, apart from a couple of reset sort of buttons in it, but they're pretty much self-explanatory. And yeah, I'll just chuck another one in so you can see what's going on. Now you can see he goes past that one because that one's already full, but he falls into this one, or not. He wants to go past it. Yeah, they can do that sometimes, but if you have enough in there, they usually just go straight through it. So this guy doesn't seem to want to move, and no, he doesn't want to go on that one either. Alright. Maybe this guy I want to. Not sure why they're doing that. Yeah, there you go. Just have a stubborn one. And yep. And you can see he's pushed away. Now I'll move on to the roller coaster component of the system, which is probably the most basic part of the system. And I'll just grab my 2 volunteers here. Come on. Off you go. Alright. And you can see they're happily riding around their little roller coaster track that I've kind of just thrown together for demonstration purposes. And now I'll take the time to explain what the purpose of these little squares are, and you can see a few of them around up there as well. And basically the purpose of these is to be a failsafe for the system to prevent clogs. So basically everyone knows that minecarts are really weird. They like to behave in strange ways. So basically I've built a lot of fail-safes into this system, basically just to counteract that effect. And I'll show you it now. If we were to get in the way of this guy, and he goes backwards, this little loop just sends him straight back where he came from, back in the correct direction. So it's just to prevent backlogs on the roller coaster system and wherever else. So yeah, and this is the kill switch. And you can see it's in the off position right now. And they're just happily riding their little roller coaster around in a circle. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the kill switch to on. And I'll see you in a sec at the kill chambers, guys. Now I've just grabbed myself 2 new volunteers to help demonstrate the effects of the kill switch here. And this guy's going to go to the kill switch. So we've got lava here, and he's going to come down. He's going to die, and his minecart is going to be pushed off. And I'm just going to let that go back, and we can see what happens to this guy. You can see the same thing happens. So basically what's happening here, guys, they're coming down here, and you may notice this detector rail. Now this detector rail, when a car comes down here and lands on this, it automatically switches this. So no 2 villagers go to the same kill chamber at the same time. So we've got 4 kill chambers set up here, which is equivalent to the number of minecarts that theoretically should be in the system at one time. And you can see all these switch the tracks. So if, say, an extra minecart were to get into the system as these are being killed, we just have a feedback loop right here, and it just feeds it back to the beginning, and we'll keep looping it infinitely until a free kill chamber opens up. So we'll get rid of these. Oh, whoops. That's one reason why I don't like creative. And alright guys, so these kill chambers use my inverted trigger switch, which I'll post as an annotation probably somewhere in one of these corners. And this is from my minecart station video a couple of weeks ago. And basically what happens is the mob inside the minecart comes over to here. Because the mob is in the minecart, it will activate this stone pressure plate. And as it kills him, he'll die, and then the stone pressure plate will now not be active because a mob is not on it. So this will deactivate, and the piston will push the minecart into this area, which will funnel the minecart out here. And you can see a couple more of those squares to prevent backlog, and it will funnel it up here and to the stack. And I think that's about all to show here. Oh yes, and when the inverted trigger switch actually activates, it sends 2 signals. It sends, I'll show this one actually. It sends a signal to the piston, which will push a minecart off, and also sends an additional signal all the way to over here, which will reset this RS NOR latch, and will reset this so another villager and a minecart can enter here. So I think that's about it for the kill chambers, guys. So now I'll go on to the minecart regulator. Now since this sort of regulator setup is pretty basic, I'm just going to go ahead and do the return lines with it. But the regulator is a pretty basic setup. It's inspired by the Pez dispenser design that's so often used in minecart systems. And you can see I've got a 3 clock here, or just a clock in general. It doesn't really matter what clock you use. This one's just really simple. And you can see I've got a monostable circuit here. I think it's a monostable circuit anyway. And it sends a short pulse to this redstone torch, which in turn sends short pulses every so often to this trapdoor. And I'll put a couple of minecarts in here and we can see its effects. Whoosh. I'll put 3 in there. And we put 3 in really quickly, but you can see the trapdoor is just regulating how fast the minecarts actually exit. And so we've got 3 nice evenly spaced minecarts here, which means that this return line hopefully won't clog up. Actually those 2 might be close-ish. We'll see what happens. Now, this is the return line, and it's a bit hard to see in all this clutter, but I'll try and explain it. And basically, all of these are off at the moment because there is currently a minecart in each holding cell. So I'm going to get rid of 2 random ones. I'll get rid of that one and that one. Now, that means we have to set the tracks to actually off. Now, when the villager actually exits here, it will activate this detector rail. And this detector rail vertically wires up to this RS NOR latch. That is an RS NOR latch. It's just up in the air, and I tried to make it sort of try and dodge all the additional wires up here. It was pretty hard to do, but I got it done. And it goes directly to the track switches. So when this gets activated, this will switch and the minecart will go into there. So we're going to go ahead and do that to the 2 extra ones we removed now. So we'll just do this and we'll see what happens. And yeah, you can see minecart was shot into here. And we'll do it for the other one as well, and we'll see if we can get a better look at it. Yep, and you can see it was pushed into here. And you can also see that this detector rail sort of flipped the RS NOR latch and in turn reset this switch track, should I say, to its original state. So the minecart will keep going through all of them. And again, I have an endless feedback loop here, so the minecart will keep looping back on itself until there is a free slot available. And now we'll move on to the reset function for this device. Now, I was really worried about this system actually screwing up because it is a pretty complex system. So I was really worried about minecart clogging and all stuff like that. So I actually built in an overall reset feature. So we're going to test it out now. We're going to purposely screw this up. So we're going to do this and this. And you can see there are already minecarts in there, and you've got minecarts funneling into there, which is usually not allowed. And we'll screw up this as well. Yeah. And you can see it's going past it, even though there's not a villager in there. Screw them all up, yeah. And yeah, you can see these RS NOR latches aren't even though there's all the minecarts in there. But it's okay because we've got a reset button. To engage system, turn lever on, press the reset button. Alright. Off. On. Reset. And there you have it. Everything reset. All these? Yep, all reset. Now I think I've covered just about everything in this system, guys, but I will explain the purpose of these kind of arches here. And yeah, they are kind of big arches like that because they were kind of an afterthought, something I put in the design afterwards because I wanted to automate it further. Basically what these do is when the cart goes over the detector rail, it will go down here and reset this RS NOR latch, which in turn resets the trapdoor and piston, so another villager can fall in instantaneously. Now, I only put this in as an optional feature because I know a lot of people with their roller coasters want to put in 4 villagers, let it run around, their roller coaster up, kill them, and then they go back, and they want to choose when they turn back on the roller coaster, which this switch actually does. And so I put this in as an optional feature. So basically, no matter how many villagers I put in here, this theoretically should keep running. So yeah, guys, I think that's about all there is to explain there. Now, all that really needs to happen is just to give it a test run.